We're leaving together.
Right, I think we're probably live, aren't we?
Are we?
Think so. Singing a bit of final countdown.
Well, yeah, go on. I'll just see if we are, but we probably are.
We are.
Well, we will be, because you've just said we are.
Well,
So
I'm presuming.
when the laptop works, we'll be laughing. There we go. Events. I mean, it just says Monday. That's fine.
Yeah, because it's Monday.
Because it's Monday.
Right, I think we're probably live.
There you go. Mute that.
Music.
Laughing.
So happy Monday to everybody.
Happy Mondays.
So it's melon, man.
Let's go. LA Walkway, hello lads. Been lying in bed all day, not a bit well, waiting for you to post some content through the day. James. You know what, James? I've got a cold as well, and sore throat.
My wife's got a cold.
Rubbish.
It's not good.
It's rubbish.
Why's your name LA Walkway?
We were a band. I think these probably still are a band.
That's all I'm asking.
Evertonians.
Is right. It's cool.
Simon Harris, all right lads. Just about to drive home. Been looking forward to this all day. Thanks, Simon.
He did say that 15 minutes ago.
There you go. So maybe he's driving home now.
Driving home
For
on Monday.
Stephen Kelly. All right, Steve. Keane, Neres, Gomez, Zuma. Would you be happy with that set of business if we could get it done? Looking forward to coming in tomorrow, and good news for your sister, Ped.
Thank you very much.
Yes, but that won't happen, Steve. So, there you go.
What, him
See
coming
you
in?
tomorrow. No, Keane.
Oh, he's definitely coming in.
Keane, Neres.
No.
Gomez, Zuma.
No. No, that's not happening, is it?
No. James, again, do you think there's any truth in the Traore links? If you do, what do you think? Also, are you expecting a Gomez announcement soon? Gomez will be this week. Traore, I'm not convinced by Traore, if I'm honest. Lucina. Bertrand, listen, he's a good player, but he's too inconsistent for me. But then again, I suppose if Marco Silva can get the consistency out of him, then he could be good. But I'm not sure. What do you think about him? Done well against us for Lyon, didn't he, in the Europa League? But
I've seen a lot of Lyon fans like, please take him. So that's never a good sign, is it? That's never a good sign. That'd be like us if someone said to us, like, what do you think of Nias?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always a bit worrying when you're like, please take him as fast as you can. I'll drive him myself. But
Matty 101 though, he wants him. He's wanted him for years. He was very good at Ajax, wasn't he? He went to Lyon. He's all right. He's one of those players. He's 23. Obviously a left-footed right winger. He's got a lot of potential, but I don't know. My preference would still probably be Malcolm, to be honest.
I think at 23, you're still going to be really inconsistent, aren't you? And wingers are by nature inconsistent. It's all about what the manager sees and what they think with this bit of coaching or the style we play. He'll be a player I like. It's difficult, isn't it, when it's about the system, and if the manager sees or has a vision for how that player plays in a system, then we don't know. We don't know if he actually wants him, though, or if it's just things getting...
What I will say is that if Silva wants him, then we back him, don't we? Because it means him and Brands have agreed on it. So if him and Brands agree on it and think that he can do the job, then why wouldn't we take him, and why wouldn't we back him? And if they think he'll do the job, then he will. That's the way to, I suppose that's the way to look at it. Where are we? James is the singer of the band,
Okay.
LA Walkway. Top man, James. Valhalla Viking, how do we get rid of the likes of Morales, McCarthy, Nias? We are being strangled by our own wage constraints, it seems. We are being strangled by our own wage constraints. Morales is attracting interest from Belgium. 3 clubs in Belgium, Standard Liège being one of them. He apparently wants to go back there, so that'd be good. He's got a year to go. That'd be good if we could do some kind of variation payment with him and get him out the door.
Just get rid of him.
Wouldn't it? Who else have you? Nias has got a year left. I see Nias going, to be honest. I think there'll be takers in Turkey for Nias. 12 months left, get him off the wage bill. McCarthy, I think. All those 3 you've mentioned there, I think all 3 will go, personally.
I think anyone with a year left will go, because I think the club will look at it and go, we'll say, well, we'll just cut our losses, even if it's just on a season-long loan.
Just to get them out.
If you get them out, and it's because what's interesting about these season-long loans when they're in the final year is, if you say to the club, you're going to have to pay the full wages, pay maybe a couple of quid
to take them, but then at the end of it, if you want to keep them, you won't be paying a transfer fee. Yeah.
You know, that's a interesting situation for the buying club, because it's a no risk situation, similar to what we had with Gareth Barry.
Yeah.
Although we didn't get him for free at the end of it. There was something in the contract that meant we had to pay a little bit more. But they looked at it the same way. They were essentially saying, well, you're buying our player. He won't be our player anymore, because so you're buying him, but you're not buying him, and then you get the chance to get him for nothing. That's the carrot Everton are essentially dangling in front of these clubs. That's why when you see players in the last year and people are offering buttons for them, and you think, well, there's a better way to do it. And I think if they pay the wages, and then Everton don't have to pay up his contract then either, because if we were to sell Kevin Morales and Morales doesn't ask for a move, he'll get his loyalty payment madly.
Which is bizarre.
But if he goes on loan, he wouldn't. So I think that these are all the ways now that you've got to look at things. You've got to get your head around all these different things now.
Yeah, definitely. Onto the wrong page. Toffee boy. The sound is good. What do you make of Rafa leaving mega rich Newcastle?
Well, they're not mega rich, are they, for a start? They've got nothing. Got loads of big mugs. Do you know what I feel? I feel sorry for Rafa Benitez. I really do. He's a genuinely nice person. I know he said some horrible things about Everton in the past, but as a person, he's a genuinely nice person. He's done a really good job at Newcastle. And they've treated him really shabbily, haven't they? And the mad thing is, though, about that is they've treated him shabbily, but he holds all the cards. That's the thing. He's still, in a lot of people's eyes, a top-class manager. And he could go to so many places now and earn really good money. And Newcastle could be scrambling around. And I don't know what actually his game is, because talking about a fella that every time a company goes into liquidation or something in this country, he's trying to buy. So he's obviously got money. He's obviously got cash, and yet doesn't want to filter it into football, and seems very reluctant to also sell the club. So I do feel sorry for him, but for them, I think they're going to struggle now, because they haven't got that fella who knew how to get results, essentially. Just get results. And he's almost, but last 2 seasons, he's always had a struggle at the beginning of the season, and had to get through those difficult times and build players up. And last season, I know he fell out with some senior players because he didn't want to play his system, but he was adamant that they were playing it, and he had to get through all that, and he was proven right. He was proven right on Rondon as well. And it's I don't know, it'll be interesting now for Newcastle as well. Think about Newcastle now. Pre-season starts next week. They haven't got a manager. They haven't bought any players in. The new manager will have to come in and target players, and they'll have to get those players in, and yet they're not spending any money. That's worrying. And a lot of those players he brought in will have wanted to play for Rafa Benitez. He'll have been the carrot. So I think they're going to struggle. But you're not asked, are you?
No, I was listening to everything you were saying. I don't know who they can attract. Apparently the takeover's bollocks as well. Apparently it's nonsense that the funds weren't there. That was highlighted early on when it was said that they wanted to buy Liverpool, and when Liverpool done the checks, the fella didn't have any money, real money. So Ashley's not gonna, in one respect, he's not gonna sell it to someone who hasn't got any money, quite clearly.
Well, obviously, yeah.
So that's why that's happened. In terms of the Benitez thing, this is no good for Newcastle because he did keep them up with his man. Whether you like him or you don't like him, or you like to watch his style of play or you don't, what you can't take away from is he's a fantastic tactician, and he kept Newcastle. Look at that squad they've got. You know, they haven't got good players. They've got a few. Almiron's a good player. You know, they've got some all right players. No one amazing. And yet,
well, they're in danger of losing the kid in centre midfield, aren't they?
Longstaff has been linked with United, although he's only played a handful of games, hasn't he? So we'll have to see what happens with them. The keeper's very good who we brought in, Dubravka. Lascelles is good as well.
What I would say is that this is not a unique situation in terms of where Newcastle find themselves. It's where Everton found themselves. The difference is that, and I think this is why a lot of people do have a lot of love for Bill Kenwright, is because Bill Kenwright basically said to Moyes asked certain things of him, and he always did the things he says. Simple as that. You know, we keep our best players, and you know we only sell when I say, and I'm in control, and that's how it worked for so long. Whereas Benitez simply doesn't have that, didn't ever have that power at Newcastle.
No.
Benitez, Ashley never stuck to promises. He was always, he'd say something and then change it, and I think Benitez just got fed up in the end. It's funny because I was reading an interesting story before in the Echo. It's not new news, but it was the 125,000 that might have saved Everton, and it was basically saying, you know, Tim Cahill signed for Everton essentially because of £125,000 that Crystal Palace wouldn't pay the payment for the agent, and Everton jumped on it. And you just think Everton were quite skint then. I mean, we hadn't sold Rooney at that point either, had we? So, but we were willing to pay that extra money for someone that Moyes obviously clearly wanted, and you just wonder if it was the same way at Newcastle, would Ashley be prepared to pay the money? I think that's the difference. But no, he's been let down badly, but he can go and do what he wants.
Been offered 12 million a year in China.
He has, but I don't know whether that his family still live in the Wirral. And Benitez would often travel up on a Monday morning quite early on one of the early trains up to Newcastle. My brother-in-law's been on the same with him a few times when he worked in Leeds. So he was prepared to put, you know, I think, you know, if you're a football manager, you've got to put your life and soul into it. And people, obviously, if you're married to a football manager, you obviously get the benefits. But China might just be
too far.
A little bit too far.
Big money though.
Too far. Too soon.
Big far. Whole of the moon. Stephen Kelly, I see Ajax signed Quincy Promes today for 20 million. Do you think there could be anything to do with the potential move for Neres?
Can I just ask, has anyone actually watched Neres play in the Copa America? Because I haven't actually thought he was that good.
He wasn't even in. He didn't even get on in the 5.
Neither did Richie, did he?
No.
There was a reaction, obviously. I mean, that was interesting over the weekend, wasn't it? The Brazil game. Obviously, there was a reaction to the draw and players were dropped, one of them being Richarlison, and they didn't even get on the pitch. And you get the feeling now Richarlison's not going to get back in that team.
Do you think?
Yeah, I've got that feeling. I think sometimes in tournaments,
I don't know,
certain things happen, and I don't really think Richarlison's a home favourite. I don't think the fans actually like him that much because he's someone they've never really latched onto, and because he doesn't play in Brazil anymore. So I don't think Richarlison will get back in that team, and I'd be surprised if Neres gets back in the team as well.
I think Richie will play again. I don't know whether Neres will. I watched him when he drew 0-0 and he wasn't very impressed. I've seen him for Ajax, I've said it before, and he was very good. But I watched him the other night on the left and he was just, there was nothing to his game. it was just weird. I just looked at him and thought he's a player that would have to be given like 12 months to settle in almost. And I think Malcolm's a better bet. I've said it before.
It was a disappointing weekend for the internationals because obviously Richarlison didn't play. Mina didn't play for Colombia. That was because the whole team.
Well, they were through, weren't they?
Yeah, the whole team was rotated essentially, and they won anyway, so they would finish top of the group. So he'll come back in for the next game. We've seen the under-21s on Friday, and that was just a debacle. Kenny gave away a penalty and was poor. Dahl never really got hold of the game in midfield, and Dom did what Dom does a lot of the time. He held it up really, really well. He was a willing runner. But when there was chances, like the ball flashing across the box, how many times did we see it last season? The keeper dropping it and him not anticipating the fact that he might drop it. Those little striker instincts that he clearly just doesn't have. He could have got himself a couple of goals, and I was really disappointed in him. Not for him, in him. Because they're the ones you want to see him. There's one that went right across him, and you just think, anticipate that. I seen one last night in the Women's World Cup for France. And the girl just anticipated it. It went past the goalkeeper, and she just literally slides onto it and puts it in. And that's what you know you get. And he didn't have that, so that was really poor from England. So they're knocked out now. So they've got obviously one more game, and then they'll come home. Doubt those three will start. And then Ghana played last night for Senegal. Quite easy, man of the match, bossed the game, all over the place. They won 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, set the first up.
Set one up. And Onyekuru didn't even get on for Nigeria. So, mixed boat. Okay, as long as no one gets injured.
Yeah, it doesn't matter really, does it? James Pirri, could Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin do the job with greater support from the left and right?
Yeah, and I think that's why we're looking for someone on the right. And you know, that's why I think we're looking for that. Because
so can be rotation.
So I think Richarlison can play centre forward. I think if we had someone who could take Richarlison's place on the right, then or could swap out with him, then next minute he's challenging Dom then. So I think that's the way. I mean, don't forget, look at the way we started last season. It was like we started with Charles on the left, and then we had Bernard, and people were like, "Where's Bernard going to play?" And it was like there was no like thought process that he'd go on the left. It was like, well, he could go on the left, or then he probably might take Gylfi Sigurdsson's position. And there was no actual thought to, well, those three should actually be interchangeable. That's how it should work.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'll be the backup plan, to be honest. If he can, unless they can get a striker who they want, that to me will be the backup plan, and more effort will probably be put in buying or loaning the left-footed right winger. That's the way I look at it, but who knows? Kane, Forshaw. Do you think any of the current Everton players will still be around when we move to Bramley Moore? If not, who would you still like to be there? Who would you like to see taking us into Bramley Moore?
Pickford, Keane, Dean,
Gomez,
Zuma, Gomez, Richarlison, Bernard.
Basically the whole team.
No, well, yeah, anyone who's younger than 25, I'd like to see still around. Essentially, like obviously, Seamus is not going to be there.
No,
Gylfi's not going to be there. You know,
yeah.
Ghana might be here in a month. No, we don't know, do we? Might be. Kane, are you going on the coach to any of the Euro games? Let me know. I'm toying with Monaco.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, toying with it. Come on. Shit.
I'd fly there. I'm going on the coach. Dave Weil.
We were gonna drive to Austria.
I know. Moise Keane, yay or nay?
I'd have him, but I don't think it'll happen.
No. Steve Kelly, once I'd heard Rafa had gone, put a tenner on Newcastle to go down 6-1. There you go. Where are we? Hey, the way it jumps like that. Newcastle have to be up there with favourites for relegation. He was keeping the ship together by threads. Don't see the takeover happening. And who would want that poison chalice job? That was from Valhalla Viking. James from LA Walkway was having a chat with my mate about strikers we could buy. Found ourselves scratching our heads, to be honest. Couldn't really name anyone who'd be realistic. No concrete links either. What's your opinion?
I think the big problem now is, I think in years gone by, the likes of Josh King and people like that, they'd be in and around Everton's radar. But football simply doesn't work like that anymore. Zaha would be on Everton's radar, I think, in years gone by. If a player was doing well for a Palace or a Bournemouth,
He was on our radar last year till we had the price.
but that's the point, isn't it? And then the price comes into it now, and you're just like, no, because Premier League clubs know they don't have to sell cheap anymore because they've got money themselves. In years gone by, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just that they don't. So we're all looking abroad, and when you start looking abroad, the problem for us mere mortals is it's not always easy to judge the quality. You know, we brought Sandro in. He scored a lot of goals in La Liga, and we all say La Liga is fantastic. It's a great league, blah blah blah. But is it though? Is it a great league? You know, the Italian league there's always someone playing for like Torino or someone like that who scores 20, 22 goals, whatever. There's always someone. You see people play for Sampdoria or whoever, and they got 15, 16 goals, and you're like, but it's the level, isn't it? You can't always, and do they do the job that we need them to do? It's not necessarily something Italian game's a little bit slower and the defenders a little bit more wily, so the centre forwards aren't always what we need them to be. So it is really difficult to know what they're looking for.
Well, Gabbiadini come in, didn't he? You know, he was linked with us. We tried to get him, they wouldn't sell him. He ended up going to Southampton a few months later. He come in a blaze of glory. Got about 7 goals early on. And then, next minute, couldn't get in the Southampton team and was shipped back off to Italy. So, it's a tough one. But I suppose that's what Brands is there for, isn't he? To look at how players will fit into this system and then to monitor them and scout them to the nth degree, to say, yeah, got a good personality, yes, works hard, will fit in our team and has the ability to get goals. And that's why I think potentially sometimes it might be easier to get a winger in than a centre forward, because you've got Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, you can put the ball in the net. Well, Dom needs to learn how to do it, but Chris Donahue, do you think a proper pre-season for players we got last year is more massive than most people think? Personally, I think this pre-season is huge. Excuse me. Will go up. Levels will go up hugely, and it's a must in the modern day.
Definitely.
Do you think it's bigger than people are giving credit to it for?
The likes of Gomez will definitely need Bernard. It's where you get your stock, isn't it? It's where you get your core for
your
those
reserves.
If anyone's ever got fit, the hardest part is getting fit. I mean, don't get me wrong, for normal people, staying fit's quite hard as well, but if you're a professional footballer and you're training every day, but it's hard. If you can get fit when there's like literally a clear run, and all your job is to get fit for a month, and you get those stores up, then the rest of the training for the rest of the season is just staying at that level, isn't it? It's just staying at that level, knowing when to rest. We had players last year, they had to do that so we have pre-season course, players all get to that level, then you come in and you've got to get to that level, but you're trying to get to that level while everyone else is just on their stable level. It's hard, which means you might have to do extra training, extra fitness work, which is going to deplete you for when you're playing in a match. It's all that. You want to go into that first game of the season knowing that you're fit and ready, and you're not going to start getting leggy after 70 minutes. And that's where we had Gomez and Mina and Bernard and Woolcott last year. And not only for your fitness, you'll get less injuries as well if you're fit. Your body will feel better. You'll be able to run through a few more brick walls. You won't pick up those injuries.
It's decision making as well when you're fit. when you're tired near the end of games, your decisions go. Whereas if you're fitter and can last longer, obviously your decision making. That's why there's so many goals conceded near the end of both halves when players are you know, tired or
Switching
whatever.
off.
So
Mentally switching off.
it's all of that. Kane is flying to a mysterious location for the tournament, flying to Bremen, but he's not there for Monaco. Royal Blue shall we start a petition to get Pards back at Newcastle. It's hilarious.
This is his 8th year.
He's still got a year left.
His 8th year, so he could potentially just go back in this year and
be
finish.
The caretaker.
Finish. That is, how mad's that?
Berserk, innit? Absolutely berserk. Wayne Ellis, it couldn't happen to a better club. Can't stand Newcastle. Valhalla Viking, I've watched them. This is Neres in the Copa America, and he hasn't been good. But in the same way, you don't judge a player for having a good tournament. You can't judge it for a bad one. But he doesn't think he's suited to Everton anyway, Neres. Peter Francis says Tim Vickery reckons Brazil fans love Richarlison because he's come from the slums and his attitude. They don't like Firmino because he came from a more privileged background. And Vikings 7, what I've read up, I back up Peter's comments. Brazil fans love him because he's humble. Simon Townley, what would you like to see the club do to Goodison when we leave Bramley Moor? Plus, do you think the club should give season ticket holders their seats as souvenirs?
I mean, it's coming with me anyway. It's definitely coming with me. Better not try and charge me for my own seat.
That you've paid for years.
Exactly. Well, we know what the plans are for Goodison, don't we? It's going to be like a the land is going to be the land is going to be like a community park with some housing or some flats or whatever. So yeah, I mean, it won't be like, if anyone's seen what Highbury's, that's incredible what we've done to that. But I mean, all 4 stands will be pulled down, I imagine, unless they leave maybe the skeleton of the Bullens up or something. I don't know, but I imagine the main stand will come down. Park End, they'll go back into Meccano box, and part like the Archibald stuff will be used either in the new ground or whatever. That'll all be retained, but I think most of it will come down and it'll be built on, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be Everton's land, isn't it? So they're not going to sell it. It's not going to become a Tesco or anything. So I'm looking forward to that day, to be honest.
And what?
When it comes down.
You're not looking forward?
No, I am looking forward to it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just ready for a move. I love Goodison, but I'm not. I'm ready for the next chapter. I really am. I've been ready for 20 odd years.
Interesting. It'll be. Listen, we'll know in a month what's going to be, won't it? Because that when that comes out with the new ground stuff, so does all the old stuff. What's happening at Goodison? So we'll know then. Only 4 weeks or so to go, and we'll have a clear idea of what the plans are for it. But I'm sure it'll be very good. Stephen Kelly, do you think the lack of activity with players coming in is due to struggling to get players out?
Don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's difficult to know, isn't it?
I think probably it is. It's not helping, Steve, put it that way. It's not helping because obviously the wage thing is a big thing. Also, players are away. Players on holiday. Some are away at tournaments.
Do you honestly think though that they thought they'd be getting rid of players in June? Because I don't. As I said last week, I think players leaving the club is more likely to happen in August, when we're on the when clubs are on their 4th, 5th, 6th target. You know, they've missed out on a couple. We need a left winger, or we couldn't get him. No one's knocking the door down trying to get Morales. No one's knocking the door down trying to get Nias or Hugh Martina.
Well, you're trying to sell ones that are saleable, aren't you? Hence why Vlasic went. Hence why potentially Onyekuru will go before others. You know, there is some interest in Morales. There is some interest in James McCarthy. Whether anything comes of it, we don't know. You know, reportedly there's some interest in Oumar Nias from Turkish clubs. Whether they front up and pay the money, or do a deal with Everton to take him on loan, and you know, whatever, however Everton look at it and think it's worth doing, Marcel Brands will do it. But there'll be other players who we can't get out the door and we do have to wait, and they will be the ones whose targets are 5th and 6th. I don't know. It's the reality of it, because I think while we know that the wages is hindering a bit more freedom, these deals might be in the pipeline to be done anyway, and they're not done because of players away. Or
maybe what will happen is the club will wait for. The club might have a limit for some of them, like those players on 1 year with 1 year left, and say, right, no matter what happens, they're going. We'll get rid of them one way or another. They're going. So if they go at the very worst, whatever the worst scenario is, they'll go, and this is how much we'll save by them going, and maybe that's factored into the new players coming in. But it's difficult. It's difficult because I don't know the numbers they're exactly working with. So
the Valhalla Vikings said, with wages, what do we actually do? Do we wait until we get rid of players and risk missing out on our best targets, or do we take the chance in the hope we can get rid of the baggage? The problem with taking the chance is, if you don't, then you've broke the rules, basically. And Everton, we're getting monitored. We know that. They were very close to the line. So, but I know what you mean. It's chicken and egg, innit? You know, you want that player there. I think if it was a real target who they wanted, I don't think Brands would let it walk away. No, what you've got to remember is not many players have moved anywhere yet.
Yeah.
Really. So that's what you've got to kind of look at. And if Everton can, Brands will have his hand on it all.
Yeah.
He'll know it all, and it'll be, if we're forced into a corner and he's the one we want, we'll get him. He said, doesn't he? You know, it's rather wait a day later for the right plan. All that. He's got his plan. If he's forced into a corner, I'm sure Everton will get the play they want. But at the moment, maybe he doesn't see it as a rush, I suppose, because if no one else is really moving, then we'll have to just see. LA Walkway, it's James again. Do you think Brands and Silva made the call on Rooney too soon? Would he have been a good option?
No, I think
last year.
I think that for them, that was something that they decided quite early on. It wouldn't suit what we wanted to do and the way we wanted to play.
It was a statement as well, wasn't it?
I think it'd just be interesting to know whether they already knew before they'd made the decision that there was an offer for Rooney. If they already knew that, then I think that would have made a lot. Because they could have said, right, you know what, this year, transition year, you could help us on that pitch. But if they already knew that DC were offering 3 years for him,
chance to get that money,
you know,
off
that's
the wage,
yeah, they'd be like, hang on, we can get that wages off. You get 3 years. You don't get a year where you're dicked about. It might be the best thing for everything. And I think, you know, Rooney initially was probably a little bit heartbroken by it, to be honest. But I think he'll probably realise now that it probably is the best thing for everyone. I was disappointed, I really was. I was disappointed. But I think when people come into the club, it's important that they start off the way they're going to continue. And obviously they felt like it was just easier to just kick off from day one without that distraction. I don't think Moshiri was that bothered. I think Bill had convinced them to bring him back anyway. And I think once that other stuff had happened off the pitch, that had soured any potential use of Rooney in commercial deals and things like that. So that didn't help. So I think in the end it'll benefit everybody. And we worked through the problem, didn't we? Ultimately, we worked through it. Gylfi got to play in his position.
Clasham went out.
Okay, we messed about with the front three, but would Rooney have really fitted in our front three the way we want to play? I don't think so. So
interesting. Wayne Ellis says a big July coming up, new kit, new season, new signings, and new grounds. Roland, you're right, Wayne. It's a massive month, really. Stephen Kelly watched the Lewis Bowen Morte interview. Seems an intelligent man, got a lot of ideas moving forward. he seemed, what I liked, the biggest thing that he said in the interview was he's an intense coach and he's always on the players to improve, and I like that. So hopefully, knowing the kind of player he was nasty, you know, he liked to put his foot in, and he was niggly and he was aggressive, and I hope he's like that with the players and he challenges Silva. Peter Francis, do you think Rooney will come back as a coach, and would you have him born winner?
I've no problem with Rooney really, as such. You know, once he was back, and you know, I think, to be honest, I've said, well, I'm disappointed Everton haven't made more of the fact that he's gone to America and tried to link up with it a little bit more. The Echo's done a piece today about about America and stuff, and they've got, I think they've got Jeff Wallander.
Oh yeah,
to do it, and I think the American Toffee podcast they've asked them a couple of questions about it, essentially saying like everyone who's you know, a American who supports Everton will have been influenced by the likes of Tim Howard, and Everton have just pissed that all up the wall. And I think we've done the same with Rooney. I think we could made a hell of a lot more of it, and we're not. But that's says everything about Everton, doesn't it?
Sad. J Mac, will you be binge watching Stranger Things next week?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll be watching it, no question about it.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah. Yeah.
Watch the first Killing Eve last night. It was amazing. She's amazing. Let's see if there's any more on Patreon before it gets swerved.
Refresh!
No, none on Patreon. And that's it on YouTube.
Good stuff.
There you go.
Not loads to talk about today. This is going to be a bit of a quiet week, I think, apart from Gomez situation.
Hang on. Thomas Jennings, all right, boys. I love Big Dunk. Just tuned in. Think this is a massive season for the progression plan, new ground and all. Let's hope so, Thomas. Let's hope so. And Peter Francis, any good guests coming up in the studio? I guess they're always good. Any chance of ex-players? Well, we're trying, aren't we? It's just a few of them are away at the moment.
I always find ex-players to be quite reserved. They're always quite reserved. They don't necessarily want to tell you everything that they really feel. So it's not always a great interview with them at times, but
there's a couple we'd like, and if they come off it,
there's any that present themselves, then they're good. You know,
then we'll have them. 100%.
We'll have them. But yeah,
I'd rather have patrons in, giving us your opinions.
Patrons bring biscuits.
They do. Actually, you're right. You are, and Les does. Les, I don't know. Actually, Les is a patron, so you're right. Yeah. Patrons bring biscuits. I think you've just threw that out to stay, haven't you? Because he's coming.
I'm just
tomorrow.
Saying.
That's all you were saying.
Good patrons bring good biscuits.
Yeah. Jaffa cakes. Just saying. Steve Kelly's just started playing Red Dead and loving it. It's right, Steve. It's the best game I've ever played.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So enjoy it. Right, that it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All I would say is, like with loads... Oh, hang on. Another one's coming.
Enjoyed El Pivot.
Been back in today.
Been in today. That's a...
Done a couple of videos. That'll be released during the week. He's off to Glastonbury now.
Yes.
So, but it'll start, you know, next week. They're back in training next Monday. Kit reveal next Thursday, I think. Play on the Sunday in Africa. Then they go to Switzerland. And before you know it, you know, next week's July. Premier League kicks off early August. So
it's starting to, it'll start getting.
We're going to see
cranking up.
Images of the ground as well in July. So July is going to be a very, very busy month, and we're going to get big into it. So stay here. This is the place to be. Lots of new patrons. We'll still be doing play. We'll all be doing. You know, we'll be live as we have been. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be great.
We might even do some like live shows while friendlies are on. Bit of a watch along situation.
I mean, we might.
No, we are. There's no might. It's our job
Yeah.
I think some people might be forgetting what their job is.
Well,
But we are, so we will be.
Got to be around when we're on, but you know.
Well, you know, maybe I'll do it on my own, because that's just the kind of guy I am. I'll sit here on my own and watch games of football and communicate with the
lovely patrons.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, stop dragging it out.
I'm not.
Steve Kelly, are we doing anything for the kit release?
Are we? Don't know.
We will be.
No, at the same time, I don't know. I'm sure we'll be doing something, but
yeah.
Cool.
Who knows? Right, cut off.
Nice
That's
one.
it. Thank you very much.
Everyone.
Love you all. See you tomorrow.